Captain's Log Supplemental. So, I did something really stupid. Like, interstellar diplomatic incident level stupid. I called an Andorian ambassador. He kept calling me Pinkskin. So, I thought it'd be a friendly gesture, little show of camaraderie, maybe, sort of. Turns out there's a lot of stigma there from past experiences with the Vulcans. I gotta go dig our ceremonial chainsaw out of storage. Apparently I need to do some sort of song and dance while carving an ice sculpture to make amends.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Captain's Log Supplemental. My name is Stanford. I am joined this week, like all weeks, by my two friends and co-hosts, Chris.
Hello.
And Rob.
Hello.
And we are very graciously overseen by our lovely producer, Mariah.
Hi there.
Captain's Log Supplemental is a Star Trek rewatch podcast. We are rewatching all of Star Trek in chronological order, working our way from early stardates to later stardates. We are still in Enterprise, although we are, I keep saying this season, but we're getting closer and closer. We're almost at the halfway point of the season, because I think it's only got like 21 episodes or 20. So
yeah, just have a few less. Yeah, it's like oh yeah, this season has less, but like only like 3 or 4 less.
Yeah, enough less to be noticeable, but not enough to be like a little treat. So if you like what you hear, as we say at the top and the bottom, give us a rate, give us a review, tell your friends. We're still looking for more ears on the podcast. We've been doing this for a bit now, and we're really enjoying it. So it'd be cool if we could have other people enjoy it as well.
I will say, while we're on the subject, shout out to the bro for having us appear as the top on his Spotify rap. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yay, Eric.
I didn't know Spotify rap. I don't do Spotify really, so I didn't know Spotify Wrapped also did the podcasts through Spotify.
Apparently.
So yeah. Now his list was 3 Star Trek podcasts, a Warhammer 40K podcast, and then Night Vale. So he's definitely got tastes.
One of us.
Oh man. So last week we talked about Thanksgiving. This week I wanted to regale y'all with my nightmare of a Thanksgiving tradition, which is dealing with the fucking leftovers. Because I can't just get rid of them. Like, that's wasteful. And it's already a pretty, like, white people-y holiday in bad ways. So I'm like, I'm not just going to be throwing shit away. So, like, I'm a little proud of this one. But did you know that it's easy as fuck to make teriyaki sauce?
Yes, actually.
I had never made it before. But because I'm the kind of weeaboo that cooks, I happen to have, like, mirin and sake. So, like, it was easy to make. Really easy. So, on Thanksgiving, right, we got this one old bag who doesn't like turkey. Now, she's pushing 90, so, like, she's allowed to not like turkey. So we make a ham for her. But she eats, like 3 bites of ham. Because, again, pushing 90.
She's 90. Yeah,
Yeah.
Got it.
But, like, I can't buy 3 bites of ham. So I have to buy, like, a 1 or 2 pound ham. So I've got all this fucking ham. So what I did was I made teriyaki ham and served it on top of the mashed potatoes that we had left over.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking no notes. Perfect
Kelsey's
dinner.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Which were awesome.
So, while we're on the topic of leftovers, that sounds amazing. I made myself a lunch today of Thanksgiving leftovers. I did a Thanksgiving sandwich, which I just sent to...
Oh, man, that looks good as hell. Is that
Yeah,
ham
it was
too,
good.
or is that just turkey?
It is ham, yeah. It's ham with...
Is that mac and cheese?
It is mac and cheese. Stuffing, and then cranberry sauce. Oh, man. It slapped hard.
So I want to make 2 notes about this photograph. Did you take this photograph like recently? Like
Today.
Oh, but it was earlier today, not just for this moment.
Correct, yes.
Okay. So 2 things I want to note about this photograph. 1, I appreciate that the bread is very lightly toasted, like nicely done.
Yeah, thanks.
2, I like the tasteful inclusion of the blurred Christmas lights in the background, just so we know what season we're in.
Yeah, I told Lauren about the sandwich because this is the second time I've made the sandwich, and it was so good I had to make it again. And I told Lauren about it the other day, but I wanted to actually show it to her since I made it again. So I took a picture and showed it to her.
With your permission, when I edit this, I will upload that picture and put it in the show notes so other people can see this masterpiece.
For sure, yeah. The cross section came out good. I'm gonna be honest. It was tight.
It's a good cut too, like nicely done. Yeah. Because like sometimes cutting a sandwich is a pain in the ass. So like you did a good job.
It's true.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Today though, because we had all this leftover turkey, Mariah made turkey stock yesterday. So we usually get like a 12-ish pound bird. Because like we don't like turkey all that much, so like I don't want a lot of leftover turkey. And our biggest Thanksgiving ever was like, I don't know, 15 people. Okay, 12 pounds is enough turkey for that because usually we're filling up on other shit anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't listen to the podcast, so this won't get back to him. My father-in-law cannot help but make fun of how small our turkey is every year, and it fucking drives me insane because it's not like we eat it all, right? Like if the fucker was picked clean at the end of the day, I'd be like, all right, this wasn't big enough, you know. But this year, Mariah's like, well, no, you picked the same.
Yes. I order a turkey from a local farm at our farmers market. And because the turkeys are still alive when you fill out the form, they can't tell you exactly how much they weigh. So there are 3 separate options to check, and it's a range. And because we get made fun of for our small turkey, I always check the largest range. And we've usually gotten the size of the bird is usually on the smaller end of the largest range.
Okay.
Well, I guess turkeys were doing well this year. Our bird was 25 pounds.
Oh, damn, that's a lot of turkey.
And like more of it than usual got eaten. So like, because we had a couple extra people show up and stuff, which is great.
I think because I fucking nailed it out the park. Knocked it out the park.
It was good turkey.
It was really good turkey. I did a dry brine this year.
Oh, dry brine. Interesting.
First, because I wanted to try it, and second, because that bird would not have fit into the.
We would have needed to use the cooler method because the turkey was too big for the enormous stock pot that we used to brine the turkey.
Yes, so I highly recommend trying a dry brine.
I am not a huge turkey fan. I did prefer the wet brine result, which we've been using for years, to this dry brine, but. That is
Everyone else told me it was better.
No one else told you it was better. Name one person that said the word better.
Kelsey.
Mariah, I think that the dry brine is better.
All right. See, the problem is that my feelings are very hard to hurt, so y'all are just helping her.
Are they hard to hurt?
Well,
are they?
On the outside, yes, but on the inside, I'm torn up.
So the weird thing was, when we were looking at this thing, I looked at it when it first came out, and I got a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. Because it was super crispy on the outside. But apparently that's supposed to be like an intended side effect.
Yeah, so the idea is that you sprinkle it with a lot of freaking salt and some baking powder. And then you leave it in the fridge uncovered for 3 days. And the idea is that that's supposed to dry out the skin so that when you bake it, it gets really crispy. I also added MSG to its butter massage before it went into the oven.
The skin was crispier than in past years.
That's
However,
the crispiest skin I've ever had. Yeah.
The meat itself was noticeably drier, but like I guess people still liked it.
I disagree.
You can disagree all you want. So anyways, we made stock out of this bitch, but it took 2 pots to do it. She had to like cut the carcass in half in order to like make stock out of it.
Okay, I'm going to share here because I don't care anymore. I've been trying to keep it to myself. I had to cut up this bird, and being the anatomy nerd that I am, I cut the spinal column and found the spinal cord and pulled out the spinal cord, and it was fucking badass.
Wait, that's what you wanted to show me?
Yes.
So you wanted me to throw up on you? Like, ew.
It was cool.
Did you never see one in like your A&P courses?
No, they removed the brain and the spinal cord for the neurologists, for the doctor.
They don't want those cadavers thinking still.
I guess they left ours because we dealt with animals. Like we did a pig, got a cat, something else in there too. Goat? No, sheep.
Yeah, we didn't dissect out the spinal cord. We did pull the testicles
Oh no, I don't
from
like that
inside the
sentence.
cavity back in a fetal pig. And it went. So that was fun.
Scoop them out.
Yep.
I don't like any of that.
So, anyways, it took 2 pots to make this stock.
It did.
And,
It took
and
2
then
pots.
today we made. So, okay, you can't see my air quotes, but we made gumbo.
Fucking
No, I'm not pedantic. I'm being.
yes, you are.
No, I am. Yes, but not. I'm not being pedantic right here. I'm trying to not be appropriative because it wasn't fucking gumbo, and the white guy that invented this dish needs to know what gumbo is. But the soup was good. It didn't have any okra in it, so like it's not gumbo. Fuck you.
But we wouldn't have okra in it anyway because I don't like okra.
You've had my gumbo with okra in it, and you've tolerated it.
That's
Ever
not the
had fried
same as
okra?
like.
Yes, it's from trauma. I don't like okra.
I fucking love okra.
But I think what I wanted to say is the soup we had tonight and the teriyaki ham that you made, I really enjoyed because they didn't taste like Thanksgiving dinner.
Teriyaki.
And I've
Sounds
had
good.
so much tastes like Thanksgiving dinner, as everyone has this past week, that I was grateful for 2 meals with leftovers that did not taste like Thanksgiving.
See, I feel like I could eat Thanksgiving dinner every night for the rest of my life and be like totally
That's
fulfilled and happy.
that's how my
Absolutely
mom is.
not.
I can barely tolerate Thanksgiving dinner once a year, and Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
Yeah,
But like
Like
I
the
don't
first
like
Tuesday-
turkey enough.
I don't like turkey.
The first Tuesday every month at work, we all like pitch in and we'll usually like buy food from someone. And this last Tuesday, the one coworker whose turn it was to decide was like, I want to get Wawa turkey bowls. So we got turkey bowls for lunch on Tuesday at work.
The
And
is it the gobbler that
so
comes
good.
from Wawa? That's actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
That
I mean,
that's
it's
what they call
that
the
just in a bowl.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gobbler is the sandwich. The turkey
Right.
bowl is that without the bread in a bowl. And it's wonderful.
And I
It's
love
so
it.
good.
I like sage. I like stuffing. It's just after, and the whole house smells like turkey. And I don't even like turkey. So having it on a sandwich, like Chris, your sandwich looks amazing. Like no, thank you. I don't want to eat that.
Well, that one has ham on it, so you'd be turkey free.
Oh, there was no. I thought that was turkey at the top of that. There's just ham.
Just ham, yeah.
That was cranberry sauce up top.
Well, no, I know the red stuff was cranberry. I was like, wow, that turkey's red as fuck right now. Like, what is going on? Like, I knew that part was cranberry sauce. I guess it's like stuffing or something up at the top. I thought
Yeah, it is
some
stuffing,
of that.
yeah.
Thought some of that was turkey. But the white man's gumbo, it came out pretty good though. It was. I had to. Okay,
Well, you fixed it.
this motherfucker put in a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper in a gallon of soup. So like,
You did mention he was white.
oh yeah, yeah. So
That's about as much as my dad would be able to tolerate.
I quadrupled that, and we had about 2/3 as much soup as he did. And there was actually like a slight heat to it. But it was actually good.
So I highly recommend you boil your turkey carcass. It was stock. It was good.
Kelsey did that one year. It was really
Yeah, I always think, man, I should make a stock. And then I'm like, I don't feel like it.
yeah. We have a stock pot. I can count on one hand the number of times we've used it, and I did it twice.
But we've made turkey stock before as well, and other stocks too.
Made chicken stock once for chicken tortilla soup.
Chicken stock is nice because it fits in almost any fucking pot because chickens are small.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Star
Well,
Trek.
now I'm starving to death. So, this week's episode was called Kir'Shara. Kir'Shara being that fucking
Whatever will be, will be.
Que sera, sera.
Queso.
Que sera sera. What's that from?
A song.
Explain it. It's like something I know,
Also-
but I don't actually know what it's from.
It's French.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. So we get a cold open where we get like what is clearly the most natural way for 5 human beings to look at a tactical map on a thing, which is all standing on one side of it, like so close together that they can't actually stand shoulder to shoulder. They have to be like like kind of twisted on each other.
Is that not how you do it?
Because TV is fucking hilarious. Like it is one of my favorite things to see how like stuff is put together in order to allow a TV show to work, even though it's like completely unnatural. Like when there's like 8 people eating at a table and there's an entire side of the table that's not being used.
Yeah. That was the when I watched Voyager with you for the first time. That was so uncomfortable to see how close they stood.
Oh yeah, because of the old
their faces stood like your faces are so close to each other. You're spitting on each other while you're talking.
Yeah, because
it's the old aspect ratio.
Yeah. It's very funny. They're looking at this weird map. Which, Chris, are you about a trivia note about this map?
I don't have a trivia note about the map.
Oh, okay. This was a missed opportunity with Chris. So the background of the map is red, which is weird. That is because the person who decided to who was in charge of this episode, decided that because the Vulcans have a different color sun, that their eyes see colors differently than ours, and so red was an easier color for them to see contrast in than black.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little weird. This will be relevant to my deep dive.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only reason I know about it.
I just thought it was funny because this is once again the most powerful people, of a nation of peoples falling for a CGI highlight reel of WMDs.
Yeah, my thing is they've got the prototype, so let's go blow them up based on this shitty footage we have, says the head smartest Vulcan.
Right.
Yeah, so the old WMD argument was mine out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because Colin Powell is a war criminal.
Very topical at the time.
Yeah, I guess so. Although we didn't know that shit yet.
We didn't?
No, because we hadn't gone to Iraq yet. I don't know when. Let's see, this was 2003. No, we had just started going to Iraq.
Okay, I was going to say.
Because don't forget, we went to Afghanistan first after 2000, right. After 9/11. We bombed Baghdad. I was sitting in history class watching it my junior year of high school. So we bombed Baghdad probably about when this episode was airing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I remember watching that in the homeroom with, what was that teacher's name? I can't think of his name. Who was that, Chris? The AV guy.
Nope.
Oh?
He had the one where he had big glasses and he always wears pants high.
Yeah. I can't think of his name. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
He had it on the TV the morning we came in, and it was weird.
Yep.
It felt very surreal.
It is weird because we didn't. I had no understanding of how to process it without being it's some explosions, whatever, you know?
Right.
Because I'm a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Snivel Vulcan is we need to kill them. All the Andorians. Cut to Faith of the Heart. We come into Act 1 in Canyonland. We're still kind of wandering through the Forge Canyons. Archer is leading them in a he knows where he's going because he's got Serac in his fucking skull. And they're talking about their plan. Their plan, as I understand it, is to take what they believe to be the original writings of Serac, the famous logic was so cold it froze blood Vulcan from the past.
I enjoy that passage is getting more and more ridiculous every time.
Yeah. So they're going to take his original writings because no one thought there were any copies of them. Go to the Capitol. Tell some people about it, and it's going to change the entire face of Vulcan society instantaneously. This is their plan.
Listen, I think that it's very topical in our current political climate that someone is basically taking a bunch of facts and thinks that it's going to make some political extremists rethink their entire philosophy. That is highly optimistic.
To be fair, it looks like there's one political extremist and then a bunch of people who don't really give a shit. Because, like, the rest of the Kai Council didn't want to kill everyone. They also just didn't care enough to stop the dude from doing it.
I mean, the sub-lieutenant was very enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah, that guy was a douche, too. Yeah, fucking Don Jr. there.
Oh, yeah.
Up on Enterprise, Malcolm and Trip are talking about various, like, repairs and stuff. Malcolm's like, why are we going to Andoria? We should probably go back to Earth because that's what the Admiral told us to do. And Trip's like, we need to warn them that the Vulcans are attacking. And Malcolm's like, well, the Andorians deserve it, so fuck them. And Trip's like, what the shit? And then Saval shows up. And Reed's like kind of standing there awkwardly. And Trip's like, you can go, and Reed like wanders out, and Saval's basically like, by the way, I can find Shran. Also, what's Reed's fucking issue? Like,
dude, this whole scene made me, oh god, how much better would the show have been if Trip had just been the captain the whole
time? That's a good question. See, the only
like, he's got that, like, you know, American enthusiastic cowboy cavalier attitude, but he's just not Archer in a good way. I don't know.
My only concern, I'm not saying he would make a worse captain. I don't think that's true. I think he would make a better captain, like, in terms of objective captaining. My concern would be that he's too pally, and it would be, I don't know, the shtick would get old. If he was
I just
captain.
think it's a bad idea to put Florida Man in charge, okay?
Damn sunshine laws. We go back to the canyon cave things, which are, I don't know, they're dumb. Like, I don't know how else to describe how uncomfortably dumb these caves are laid out. Because there's, like, weird steps and, like, small tubes, but like bigger tubes, and like convenient chambers for talking. Archer's carrying this like medieval torch for some reason instead of just like using a flashlight. It's weird. It's a weird set.
Well, they had to give him that torch so he could swing it at people later.
He does swing the shit out that torch, so fair enough on that point. They're walking through. T'Pol's trying to convince Archer that he's, you know, they should go back to the Enterprise. Archer's like, well, we got to get these teachings to the fucking capital so we can change the world. And I don't know, hockey hair. What was her name? T'Pau. How did I forget that? T'Pau was like, well, no, we should definitely do this. And Archer's like, yeah, what she said. And T'Pol's like, what the fuck? Okay. Then Archer almost walks into what I can only describe as taser stone.
This is so dumb. What was the point of this?
And she's like, whoa, stop, Captain. Do you have something metal on you? And he's like, I've got this sick ass knife. And he like hands it to her, and she's like, well, fuck your knife, and throws it at the taser stone, and it gets electrified.
So I thought for sure, like, oh, this is like foreshadowing. This is gonna come up later. Nope.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Nope.
When did it come up?
They zapped two of the people pursuing them with that stuff.
Oh, I must have been typing because I must have missed that.
Oh man, I totally missed that too.
Yeah, there were 3 Vulcans chasing them, and then they ran 2 of them into like a corridor taser stone while they were carrying those dumb Vulcan fucking pugil stick things. And then they got zapped, but the third one was smart enough to not do that, so like it didn't work on him. Yeah, that was like
that makes this Chekhov's taser stone.
Chekhov's taser stone. Because yes, had that not happened later, this would have been stupid. It's not stupid here, but like as a tool, it wasn't stupid. At least it did happen, you know.
Sure.
Rather than like later just confusing us with this random fucking electrified corridor. Let's see. We get back to the Vulcan High Command where we find out this guy's just an emotional douche. Like he's just a smirky little asshole. And he's in charge of the whole planet. This is where I was like, is he like an Andorian agent trying to spur a war? I was weirdly close, considering I did not remember the twist at the end.
Yeah.
Back at the Enterprise, Saval basically led them to where he says Shran is going to be. Saval says open a channel. they're at the edge of some nebula and there's nobody around. So Trip's like, to who? And Saval says, the nebula. And Trip's like, well, okay. And he tells Hoshi to do it. I don't understand what these channel things are then. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean transmit something to the nebula? What does open a channel to a nebula mean?
Listen, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that Saval is quickly becoming my favorite Vulcan.
Nobody knows what it means. It's provocative.
Wait, that's a quote from something. What is that from?
What is
Nobody
that?
knows what it means. It's provocative, is the tone it's set in.
Yeah. Is it like Zoolander or something?
Fuck, maybe.
I was going to ask if it was like Tropic Thunder.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, it's Walk Hard. Walk Hard. Because,
that's right. Yeah.
Because he's singing like a Bob Dylan-esque
no.
song.
No, it's Blades of Glory.
Oh, okay. Similar vein.
One song only.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
Yeah, but like, no, yes, okay. Yeah. It's about that song, I think. Nobody knows what it means. It's provocative. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Oh, fuck. What a great, also dumb movie.
Yes, 100%.
Let's see. Okay, so they open a channel to the nebula. Apparently that works because the fucking Andorian ships come out. Have they always had those like wicked wing pod things on top of their wings?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they look freaking cool.
They do look cool.
Did.
They looked cool from the front. I find them a little lengthy. Like they look elongated in a weird way to me. Like they could have shortened it by like a fifth.
Which,
and it would have been
you don't like a girthy pod?
No, I like girth. I don't like length.
Oh, okay. Just like a chode pod is what you're saying.
No. That's too much. Like there's a balance, you know.
Like that's why I like the Reliant, and then I think that Federation starships are too long.
Rob likes a chode
This is getting-
pod. Yeah.
This is getting very gay. Kelsey's uncomfortable and she doesn't know why.
So
Sleep.
do we all agree that the Reliant is the chode of the Starfleet
100%, yeah.
Sure,
ships?
yeah.
Okay.
Let's roll with it.
All right. So on that note,
I got merch ideas again.
Oh man, I can't wait till we have people that'll buy merch.
Gonna make so much inappropriate merch when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Shran's on the Enterprise talking to Trip and Saval. Saval's like, yo, the Vulcans are gonna attack you, and Shran's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Saval's like, they think you have this weapon of mass destruction and you're gonna use it on Vulcan. And Shran says that's absurd. And then his reasoning for that being absurd is Archer stopped us before we could figure out how it worked.
Yep.
Saval's like, well, what's his face? Voss? Voss is trying to start a war.
Floss.
Yeah, whatever.
Like floss, but with a V.
Yeah.
Vloss?
And an
That's an even
apostrophe.
dumber name.
You're right, it is, yep.
And he's like, Vloss wants to fucking attack Andoria. Shran's like, that sounds pretty shitty, but I gotta check with my boss.
Mm-hmm.
Back down the planet, Archer's just kind of passed out in the background while T'Pol and T'Pau have a conversation.
As I refer to them, the TPs.
Shut up.
Weirdly topical for our Thanksgiving discussion.
Well.
This is where we find out that it turns out Serac was so gay he could cure AIDS.
It was space AIDS.
I'm just gonna let that sentence linger.
I like how we're still we're continuing with this shtick.
Yeah, so it turns out that the fact that Pinar syndrome is uncurable is
More Vulcan lies.
Vulcan propaganda, and that Serac knew how to cure it. I find this to be stupid.
Yeah, well, okay, so for a couple reasons I agree. Like, one, like, it seems very hand-wavy to just get rid of it. Like, because, like, she's like, it's incurable, I can't mind meld with you. She's like, but I can, like, tickle your brain and it'll be fine. She's like, great, and then they never talk about it again. Like, the next scene, they don't mention it at all.
They have lesbian sex so good it cures her AIDS, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Yep.
My other issue is that, like, I understand that the writers of the show are trying to put forward that, like, Sirach was 1,200 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's a long time. And so, like, their society may have lost Sirach's teachings and so on and so forth. But also, the average Vulcan lifespan is 200 years.
So it's
So-
not that long.
So it's 6 Vulcan lifespans ago. So if you consider that an average human lifespan is, 70 years? 6 times 7 is, this is embarrassing, 42, 420 years ago. Like, yeah, a lot of shit, like, changed in 420 years here on the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know that, like, when's the last time the Bible had a substantial change that everyone agreed to?
Okay,
Never.
you put that last qualifier on, and I'm like, well,
Literally never.
Like the Second Council of Nicaea in, like, 300 AD or some shit? Like, I understand that there are occasional offshoots and stuff, but we're talking about the entire planet believes a change that happened less than 400 years ago. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the Crusades were longer ago than that. We have, like, fairly accurate records from the Crusades, you know? So, like, and I'm just putting this in religious terms because, like, it's a religion, right? Like, Sirach and all that. So, I don't know. It's just, I agree with you, Chris, that I think it's just like a hand-wavy contrivance so that they can cure T'Pol of a thing that, I'm genuinely honest, I forgot she even fucking had. Like, who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah,
I thought the Trillium D addiction was a more important factor here.
yeah. I'm kind of like, was there a point to curing it? Like, 'cause
Right.
at least there wasn't in this episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out later.
Does
But
she,
probably never going to mention it again.
Does she wind up, like, having to mind meld with someone on the Enterprise crew for some important scene later on?
So,
Like, they didn't...
I don't remember that, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I also, like, is it still true or not that all Vulcans can't mind meld?
I mean, like, it's just a ritual, right?
No,
Yeah, theoretically.
they said in the gay AIDS episode that not all Vulcans can do it, and T'Pol cannot do it, and they can genetically test for the ability to do so.
Yeah, that is true. They did do that for some reason.
Like, the only reason she's got AIDS is because someone gay sexed her. She can't initiate.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I don't even know what to do with that sentence, Stanford.
You talk to fucking Brandon Braga, okay? And that wild Paramount anti-AIDS campaign.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back on the Shrike or whatever the fuck Shran's ship is named. They beam Saval into a torture chair. Cut to Act 2.
Oh, but it's a special torture chair.
Yeah, so
It makes-
Act 2. Shran starts by explaining how this will torture you by making you feel feelings. Which is
It makes the torture more tortury.
which is stupid, but like also it's a Vulcan, so like I'm gonna let it slide. We know because we are an omniscient audience, or an audience that has listened to an omniscient narrator, that Saval is telling the truth. Shran does not believe Saval is telling the truth, so his plan is to torture him in order
Until he's
to
sure.
prove that he's telling the truth. So basically, Shran can't decide whether or not something is true until he hurts somebody.
Which also, I want to point out, after he eventually starts believing him, he says that a lesser man would have told him whatever he wanted. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Were you torturing him until you were sure, or until he told you whatever he wanted? I don't understand.
Yeah, I guess, like, in Shran's mind, there was no correct answer here. He just wanted to torture somebody.
Yeah.
He switches on the device. You can tell Saval is feeling feelings because he screams in pain for some reason. I don't know.
Pain, but also kind of a moan?
Yeah, I don't know. Saval might be horny. It's really difficult to tell what supposed emotion. Saval's actor, for some reason, in this specific scene, did a shit job. He's fine later, But for some reason, right here, it's like, do you not know what pain sounds like, man? But also, I'm not sure if maybe he was just given bad direction because, like, is he feeling pain? The machine's supposed to make him feel feelings. Like,
Painful
what is happening?
feelings.
Hurts me when I feel.
Well, you know.
Well, I shut them out whenever I can.
Mariah sees a beautiful painting and just screams in agony. Oh my God, that puppy's too cute! Ah! Okay, so the Enterprise is the Andorians beamed Saval off the Enterprise, and they tried to do it in such a way that the Enterprise would not notice. The Enterprise noticed. Trip scans the inside. It's like, where's the fucking Saval? And so then they scan the Andorian ships, which are apparently just cool with being scanned. That didn't make it. That, like, what the fuck? Andorians, famously, definably paranoid Andorians, don't just have like their shields up so they can't be scanned. They find out that Saval's on the ship. Trip's like, yo, we see Saval on your ship. Like, basically like Saval's waving at us through the window right there. Like, we can see him. And the Andorians are like, no, actually, I don't think they actually responded at all.
No, they don't. Yeah. Not that we hear anyway.
Trip's like, God damn it. And then they start shoving, the Andorians start fleeing into the nebula. Trip's like, well, shoot Shran's ship to disable it, and now Shran's shields are up, and the torpedo doesn't do shit to it because Andorian shields are like massively better than the Enterprise. We're back to walking through the caves where Archer takes yet another stab at trying to convert T'Pol to a different religion because it's like his favorite thing to do. He's been doing it since season 1. Where he's like, these syrup knights, they got some interesting things you might want to think about. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Have you tried their waffles? They're delicious.
I like how I did that joke so many times that Chris is just on board now.
Yeah, you've converted me. I'm here. I no longer hate it. I'm part of the bit.
It came back around.
Makes me more successful at converting someone to syrup knighthood than Archer. Back on Shran's ship, Saval is still being tortured. He's saying shit to Shran. My favorite part of all of these is if you watch Shran's antenna, they like react like confused and shit when like Saval says things, and it's really well done. Like, Jeffrey Combs is a fine actor. He's got a range, and he's also covered in makeup, so he can only do so much.
Sure.
Whoever's in charge of his like antenna prostheses did a great job. Like, they understood the assignment.
So I noticed something weird about the Andorian makeup in this show, and it's been bothering me like all afternoon. Did you notice that their teeth are bluish? Like they dyed their teeth.
No, I did not notice that.
Yeah, you should go back and look at that. Like I can't tell if it was just the makeup bleeding into their mouths or like somebody licked their lips or something, but it is upsetting.
Huh. After Saval confuses Shran's antenna, Shran dials the machine to not quite 11. There's 2 more settings past wherever, so I guess 9. And Saval screams about how there's too many feelings.
Too many feelings.
Too many feelings. Back on the planet, some pursuers show up to chase and fight T'Pau and Archer. They have those dumb pugil stick club things where like one side is a club and the other side is a blade, but also they hit Archer with this blade a lot and he reacts to it like it's a club because like it's not actually sharp. So it's really stupid.
Yep.
We're 4 seasons into this show and the close quarters fisticuffs has not improved even a little bit.
I mean, it's Star Trek tradition.
Yeah.
T'Pol gets knocked out. T'Pau says, hey, why don't you go into the trash compactor? Archer says no. T'Pau grabs him and throws him in instead. There's this moment of like camera work where we watch Archer and T'Pau slide through this tube where they're obviously foam stalactites they're passing by and hitting. Like it's a set piece from Legends of the Hidden Temple. Back outside the tube, T'Pol is roused by the head
Captain Liam Shaw.
Yep, I don't know what that means.
From Picard season 3, the Picard hater.
Is that who that was?
That is who that is. Yeah.
Oh shit, he's so much younger. That's funny. I didn't
Fun
notice.
facts with Chris.
See, I was
That's
just
that
gonna
same
say.
actor. Yeah.
That was a staggering fact with Chris. Did you recognize him, Rob?
No,
Oh, you
I
didn't
haven't
even
seen that.
seen
I haven't
Picard,
watched
yeah.
Picard yet. Yeah.
I did not realize that was him. Shit, he is so much younger. And like he's
Yep.
got the like green,
The Vulcan
yellow
makeup on.
Vulcan makeup.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the bowl cut. So like it's hard to see
Yeah.
anyone's face in the bowl cut. Fascinating. Anyways, T'Pol straight up lies to this man 3 times. Because you know how Vulcans can't lie. Not T'Pol.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Yeah, well, she's a syrup knight now, so shut up.
That's true. She got converted after the gay sex. Wait,
That's all it
but that
takes.
was before. Wait, the gay sex was before Archer tried to convert her. Maybe she just hit her head real
Aren't the
hard.
syrup knights supposed to be extra good at not lying? Like, wasn't that like a defining feature of the whole thing?
So, anyways, in Act 3, apparently Captain Shaw, Vulcan, says, I didn't kill you because, like, you were in charge of me at one point. I remember you. But I'm definitely going to kill your friends, though. Like, probably in front of you. And T'Pol's like, fuck you. And then we get back to Shran's ship, where Shran finally believes Saval and takes off the, like, roller coaster safety bar that was on the torture chair, that kept him in place, I guess. And then they have a little heart-to-heart, which is, I don't know. He returns Saval to the Enterprise, basically.
Yep, that's after his ship receives some. We get some sparking in the torture room. So he's like, I guess I'll give him back.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Enterprise actually did catch up with them and start shooting at them. I mean, I remember it happened, but I didn't have a note on that because it was just like CGI stuff.
I also like Tran telling his general to buzz off and let him do his job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shran's happy to let people be in charge of things while he's doing other stuff, which is like rare in shows like these. Like Shran is happy to hand duties off to a subordinate, which is like proper, you know. It's his job to do the feelings torture on Saval. Okay, so back down the planet, Archer's like, I'm going after T'Pol. T'Pau says, no, we should continue with the plan. T'Pau is correct because I don't understand the point of going after T'Pol here. Because T'Pol specifically is leading them away from Archer and T'Pau. That was what her lie was. It's like they're going to the Mount Sinai or whatever the fuck.
Leia.
Yeah, Sinai. So basically Archer is trying his hardest to make T'Pol's strategy not work whatsoever.
Yeah, that sounds like Archer.
And T'Pau convinces him to no. So yeah, so they do. They go after the people who captured T'Pol because they're following their footsteps. Back up on the ship, Shran tells Shran tells Trip that there's been too much suspicion on both sides. This is the man who is saying this that just tortured a dude who was telling the truth.
Look, Shran is not concerned about hypocrisy, okay?
Shran returns an unconscious tortured man and says, look, I don't want to point fingers, but like I think we can all agree that maybe some people reacted a little strongly on both sides here. But he's gonna help. His leadership apparently has allowed him to believe Saval, and they're gonna reroute some of their ships to intercept the Vulcan fleet that is trying to sneak attack Andoria. Back on the planet, the animal call trick gets used again. It's still stupid.
T'Pau does a great salat. I mean, just,
yeah.
Man.
It tricks the 3 Vulcans who are with T'Pol. They're not with T'Pol. They're just going. T'Pol is back at the capital. Yeah.
We don't know that yet, but yes, that's
we're about to find out. It tricks the 3 Vulcans into going towards the Taser Rock corridor. It tases 2 of them, but the 3rd one is wise to the Taser Rock trick, and he goes around. There's a little bit more fisticuffs, and then because Star Trek is stupid, anyone with fingies can do like a good neck pinch, so Archer just neck pinches a Vulcan.
Well, I think, yes, stupid. By the way, one of the few times a non-Vulcan has neck pinched somebody in Star Trek.
Yeah, it's been him, Data. I think Picard did it.
Yeah. But I just also want to point out: does nobody have guns? Like
Not on
no
Vulcan.
phasers?
I guess like I think part of the point of the forge was like the technology doesn't really work well there. Although that cloaking device seemed to work okay. So yeah, I don't know. I also wondered that. I also like so I'm not so okay. American cops are often shot at, usually for good reason, but that's not the point here. So what do? They wear body armor because that's where the bullets go. You'd think that Vulcan security would wear some kind of shoulder pad to prevent neck pinching.
Hey, those went out of style in the 80s.
They just don't look cool anymore.
I guess not, yeah. Like, this is one of those things where it's like, this is clearly such an integral part of Vulcan culture, but like, literally everyone's walking around with an off switch at all times, and the security force, who's supposed to have the monopoly on violence of the state, has decided that, like, well, I mean, that's not going to happen to me. It's fine.
So, Stanford, I want to recount a World War II story I heard from my grandfather.
Okay.
All right. So, he was stationed in Italy. He was part of the occupation forces after the end of the war, right? The members of the Italian people that were still trying to mount a resistance were fans of drawing fishing line across roads to try and decapitate like American GIs as they went down mountain roads in their Jeeps, right? So what they started doing with the Jeeps was they put, a sharp piece of like steel on the front of it to cut the lines, right?
Sure.
The general in the area decided that he didn't like how unseemly the Jeeps looked with these pieces of metal sticking out of the hood. So he had them all removed. A few days later, one of the members of, I don't know, some higher up in his entourage going down the mountains wound up falling prey to the fishing line, and then they finally put them back up again.
So what you're saying is people are stupid.
Yes, exactly. And that appearances sometimes trump reality for people.
Yeah, absolutely. But these are also Vulcans. They're supposed to be masters of logic and stuff,
Now that's dumb.
They never lie either, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're back up into the council room with smirky ass Vulcan, who I think is talking to T'Pol because I think she's brought kind of before him.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, because he calls her sub commander, and she's like, that's not my role anymore. And he's like, you're still a Vulcan. And he's like, my ships are about to engage with the Andorian fleet. That suddenly, he's surprised that the Andorian fleet is where they are, but he's like, well, we outnumber them like 73 bazillion to 1 or whatever, so they're just going to engage. And hopefully the Enterprise doesn't get blown up, but I would really like it if it did. Shran is like, I got more fleet ships coming in, but they're going to take a hot minute to get here, so we're on our own versus all these Vulcan ships. And Trip is like, shit. Act 4. The Vulcan ships come out of warp, which, I mean, stuff coming out of warp always looks cool, whatever. I bet Vulcan ships are hard to hit because there's like big old rings of empty space in the middle of them.
They look cool.
But they kind of like square off. Back in the council chamber, the like spineless shitty like Minister Spineless is like, maybe we shouldn't start a war. I don't know. And the fucking head douchebags, like, we're already committed. Like he took his hand off his piece during a chess move, so he can't take it back now. Like,
look, I feel like you're giving him a little too little credit here. Like, yeah, he could have done more, but also, I mean, he definitely did try to stop things at the end, and then got forced by gunpoint not to.
At the end. How many opportunities were there to stop this?
He is the Mike Pence of the Vulcan High Council. He had that little bit of redeeming quality.
Well, we're going to get to his redeeming quality in about 3 lines of my notes here.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, the Vulcans start blasting. And And the Vulcan, so the Enterprise gets between the two fleets and Trip's like, hey, y'all, like, don't do this. And then the Vulcans start shooting. The Andorians are like, yeehaw, and they start shooting. The Enterprise is like, oh, we're just going to scoonch out of here. They get hit by an Andorian beam by accident, which is fucking funny to me. It was so fucking funny that happened. Because the Andorians did that shit on purpose, right?
Oh no.
Oh, oops. Oh, sorry, guys.
Dumb pink skins getting in the way again.
The Enterprise, like, basically the guy who's in charge of the council, he doesn't care about this war as much as he wants the Enterprise blown the fuck up. He's so goddamn mad at that Enterprise. So he tells them, like, provoke the Enterprise into shooting at you so that you can blow them the fuck up. They do so, the Enterprise shoots, and then is immediately outgunned by the far superior technology of everybody around them. I don't know what Trip was thinking.
He's just a helper guy. He just likes to help.
A Vulcan ship is bearing down on the Enterprise, but Shran saves them. Shran makes an entire ass phone call in the middle of combat to trash talk Archer and then hang up. It was amazing. Shran's the best.
Perfect. No notes, yeah.
Archer and T'Pau arrive at the council chamber. They're like, fuck it, it's too late or whatever. And Archer's like, look at this. And he puts the rock on the table and it spins, which is fun. But then it puts up a light show that shows sacred texts of Serac because he couldn't write them down like a normal person. He had to put them in like a hologram rock, which did they have hologram rock technology back then? I thought it was like atomic era Earth technology 1200 years ago on Vulcan. I don't know. Anyways, I have lol fucking finally as a note here and I don't know why.
About the time that your least favorite counselor neck pinches a dude.
Oh yeah, because
and takes the pistol from Lieutenant Commander dude.
So Minister okay, so High Counselor Douche Nozzle is like, it's obviously a forgery, it's a fake, blah, 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 I'm going to destroy it. And then Minister Spineless comes up and nerve pinches him and takes the pistol and he shoots him, right? Yeah, he shoots, well,
first after Archer and T'Pau show up with the Kir'Shara or whatever, he neck pinches the guard guy who had the pistol and then he shoots Administrator Dickhead at the end.
Right, he shoots Administrator Dickhead. Yeah, here. He shoots Administrator Dickhead here. And then Minister Spineless, because his whole thing is like, you can kill everyone you want, I don't care, but don't you dare threaten this pretty rock thing. Finally shoots the minister and takes got a text message. Takes over. So back in the fight just stops all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, the Vulcans are retreating. That's great. And then we just get like a rapid fire resolution. We're just gonna resolve everything, right? Because we got 3 episodes worth of content to resolve all right now.
Mm-hmm.
To Paul's husband, Koss, it's like a Ross pay for less, but like with a K. Mm-hmm. He comes and is like, yo, I know you only married me to save your mom's career, but since she's dead now, I guess you don't have to stay married for me, so I will graciously allow you to not be married to me anymore.
So freaking slimy.
And it's so fucking gross.
He's really secure. Yeah, they definitely made him look better in the show than they really should have. I'm like, I guess he finally realized forcing somebody to marry you kind of sucks.
Like, does it entirely too late kind of good guy move. Like,
right.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Back in, I think, the council room, they decide to give, like, they got to take the Serac's Katra out of Archer's head. They decide to give it to the oldest Vulcan on the planet.
Trivia note.
Oh, shit. The fun fact with Chris.
So the Vulcan priest who extracts Serac's Katra from Archer also performed T'Pau's and Koss's wedding ceremony in home.
He is the oldest motherfucker on the planet. I feel like they should like entrust this priceless thing to someone who's a little healthier.
Speaking of him being old, he was actually portrayed by the actor Jack Donner, who apparently was tall in the Enterprise incident in 1968 in the original series. He apparently is the longest time period between an actor's first and last appearances in Star Trek.
Crazy.
I'm trying to think, I guess because William Shatner was both on episodes later than him, and the Generations was before Enterprise. So yeah, that makes sense. Crazy. Interesting fact. Still, give it to somebody younger. This is getting weirdly political again. They have relieved Minister Douche Nozzle of command. They've also dissolved the entire council. I guess they're just going to reform the entire fucking government tomorrow. I don't know who's going to be in charge or what. This is the high command no longer exists. So it would be like if tomorrow we said okay, we don't have a president anymore.
We're not doing that parliament thing.
It's
it
fine.
Seems done.
And then at the end, there's this twist that it turns out that Minister Douche Nozzle was working for the Romulans the whole time.
Captain Shaw was a Romulan all along.
A plan to, I guess, reunite the Romulans and the Vulcans. I don't know. It's ham-fisted and dumb, if I'm honest. But I guess we're going to have some Romulans later. Romulans who do have shoulder pads. That's why they have shoulder pads. I figured it all out.
There you go.
It's ham-fisted and dumb in the same way that, I don't know, every time North Korea is oh, we're going to reunify with South Korea, it's no, you're going to conquer them. That's what you're doing.
But, I mean, South Korea almost tried to conquer itself, yesterday, so...
For, 2 whole hours.
Yeah. Actually, famously short-lived coups is a Korean, tradition.
Hmm.
And then that wraps the episode with that little twist at the end. Twisty twist. So, on a scale from 1 to 5, where 0 is threshold, what do we think?
I mean, I think it was a 3 for me. I don't think there was anything egregiously bad outside of normal, Star Trek Enterprise dumb stuff. And there wasn't anything particularly world-shattering. There was some fun CG scenes, a couple fun Shran things, but not enough to get it up to a 4, so...
I don't know. I've been wondering from the get-go, how they planned on, bridging the whole relationship between the Vulcans and the Andorians. And I don't know. I like this one. I gave it a 4. I had fun. It was a fun ride.
All right, so just to make sure that I complete the spread here, I gave it a fucking 2. This was trash. Fuck it. If it was a standalone plot or whatever, maybe they could have done something with it. But the fact that this was the end of their 3 episode arc was just not good. It wasn't. I don't know. I found it unsatisfying, so I gave it a 2.
I like how each episode in the arc got less. You started at a 4, middle's a 3, and this one's a 2.
I didn't give the middle one a 3. I gave the middle one a 2 as well.
Oh, you did? Okay.
In fact, we all did.
I thought you gave it a 3. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't let this shit. This shit didn't redeem the middle episode. It was too bad. And I'm sorry.
Fine.
You have to work hard to bring yourself up when you show those dumb Vulcan weapons, okay?
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was 3.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun, even.
I wouldn't go that far.
And on that note, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with a deep dive. Welcome back. So, as has apparently been kind of the theme of these last couple of episodes, I am going to conclude our little Vulcan documentary mini-series we've been doing. In episode 1, we talked about Serac and kind of the foundation of Vulcan culture. In episode 2, we talked about Vulcan history. Wait, no, we didn't. What did we talk about last episode? Was that you, Rob? What did you have?
Yeah, that was me. I should remember that, huh?
Mm-hmm. You should remember that.
Oh, I did it on Katra.
Katra, that's right. Okay. So basically, Chris did a dive on some Vulcan history, Rob on some specifics of Vulcan, kind of metaphysical theology. I am going to talk about Vulcan physiology, so Vulcan biology, because as may not be a surprise to anyone who's been tracking with us so far, it is fucking bananas. It is wild. Mostly because it was started in the 60s and we didn't even know that much about human biology back then. So like, fucking whatever. But also because like every series of Star Trek has to add something new to the Vulcan physiological discussion, which means that they're like getting weirder and weirder. Mostly because Spock was such an iconic character. Vulcans may be the most like updated alien species in the series. Like everybody's got a new take on Vulcans. The only one that might come close are Klingons, although the new updates on Klingons are usually pretty much still the same shit, Kalis, knives, etc., etc. So as is kind of revealed, we learned through several episodes that Vulcan, the planet Vulcan, is a dusty shithole. Like, it's just a terrible place to live. And I can say that because I'm in a wheelchair. It is arid. It is hot. It's basically a desert for most of it. There are large patches of water that you can see from like the CGI orbits. But they look pretty sparse. Much like every other science fiction show and book and stuff, the planets in Star Trek that aren't Earth are all one biome. The best I can describe Vulcan's biome is Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Having evolved on this planet, we learn in these episodes, but in other episodes as well, about several physiological adaptations that the Vulcans have for the heat. They can survive quite a while without water, or at least they don't need much water. They have an inner eyelid that allows them to not get dust in their eyes because it's just so dang dusty there. Their respiratory system is superior and is able to filter more oxygen out of thinner atmosphere. Now, whoever wrote that into an episode doesn't really understand how volumetric like air dispersal works, but basically the theory, I guess they just breathe more deeply. That's what Vulcans are doing. One interesting note is that apparently Vulcan heartbeats are like several hundred times faster than humans. Or no, I'm sorry, several hundred times per minute. So like 5 or 6 times faster than me. That's weird because like they're also talking about a lot of metabolic systems that work more slowly and more efficiently because they're in the desert and have to conserve energy. And yet their heart is beating so fucking fast that like it would give a squirrel a run for its money. Squirrels famously not desert creatures.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing in terms of the Vulcan like physiognomy that we know is that they have a copper-based blood, which is why they bleed green. Apparently, Gene Roddenberry fucking hated this idea. He hated the idea that there was green blood. But some dude named Mark Daniels, who was a director in the original series, was like, "Yeah, green blood was my idea. It's cool. I like green blood. It's fun."
Why did he hate it?
I think Gene, this is a quote from Daniels, I think Gene thought the idea was going too far, but they kept it in later episodes. So I guess like Gene was like, whoa, green blood, unacceptable. Let's not get crazy now. Next you'll be putting women in pants.
Yeah, because he's a misogynist.
Vulcan body chemistry doesn't use sodium chloride. Well, okay, so technically we don't use sodium chloride either. This was something that happened in the Man Trap because the salt zombie was not attracted to the Vulcan because the Vulcan uses less salt. Okay, like whatever.
They not use a sodium potassium pump for how fast their heart's fucking beating.
I was gonna say, like, you would think it'd be the opposite, given how often their heart's beating.
There is, yeah, you'd think so.
I don't think they know how electrolytes work.
But also, like Yeah. Yeah, I don't have an answer for you. Maybe they use that taser rock. Maybe their cells use taser rock as electrolytes. Okay, so Vulcans are also because they grew up because they evolved in the hot arid climates of Phoenix, Arizona. They don't handle cold well. We actually find this out specifically in Enterprise during the Andorian incident because T'Pol's like a shivery little guy when it gets cold at night at the monastery, and Archer has to like cuddle up with her because Enterprise. But if I recall correctly, she refuses to cuddle up with him because he stinks, which is very funny.
He's a smelly guy.
Let's see. But okay, I don't like this fucking sentence. Vulcan hearing was very sensitive. Fine. Vulcan females, possessed a heightened sense of smell. T'Pol regularly, although I don't believe she ever said it was women who possessed a higher sense of smell. I think she specifically said Vulcans do. So that's a weird, like specificity there that I don't care for. Okay, so basically, a lot of the explanations for why Vulcan anatomy is like physical anatomy is different is because their planet is entirely one biome, and that biome is again Phoenix, Arizona. So they're just basically deserty animals and probably Republicans. So, but the other part of their anatomy that gets talked about a lot is their fucking brains, okay? And there is very little consistent information about Vulcan brains because every single time they need some kind of weird mental trick, they use a Vulcan brain reason for it to work, and it's extraordinarily retconny. As much as I enjoy Voyager, it is the biggest offender here because Tuvok's brain does some fucking wild shit in that show. As we know, Vulcans are physiologically, is that the word? Neurologically incapable of feeling emotions or else they go insane. But also that's not the case because, again, no consistencies. The Vulcan brain is able to like make new neural connections and stuff, but also disengage older ones. So like in an episode of Voyager, Tuvok is having flashbacks from a part of his brain that lobotomized itself in order to save him, like a defense mechanism. Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember exactly the mechanism that was de-lobotomizing him, but like, there you go. The Vulcan brain is also obviously, as we all know, somewhat telepathic. They are touch telepaths, although there have definitely been instances in the show where they don't have to touch each other to like send telepathic messages. And there's even been at least references to, if not outright scenes of Vulcans doing like telekinetic shit where they're like lifting stuff with their mind. And, you know, sure, why not at this point? As Rob talked about with the Katra, apparently Vulcan consciousnesses can just be like fucking, you know, moved around and copied. Yeah. Let's see. Approximately every 7 years, obviously we do the Pon-farr thing, because if they don't have sex, their brain will make them go insane and they'll die. However, there is a fun note here. A central part of Chapter 7 of some random novelization of Star Trek IV: A Voyage Home, Spock became intoxicating from eating a candy mint while on Earth from the high sucrose content. That's not relevant to anything. It's just fucking funny because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Vulcan brain is quite the thing. They're able to like consciously control. It seems like basically what it seems like the Vulcan brain is mostly doing is they don't seem to have a strong like what's that term? Involuntary nervous system? That's not what it's called. What is that called? Honey, you're an anatomist.
I don't know.
Autonomic, thank you. It seems like the Vulcans don't actually possess an autonomic nervous system. Their brain has to literally control every single thing in their body, or else it won't work. Which is why their brain is able to literally just like stop their heart and shit. Which, fun fact, the human brain cannot do. Your brain does not have any control of your heart. It can like do kind of like indirect things to make your heart beat faster or slower based on anxiety and things, especially in the lower parts of the brain. But like your heart will beat because of the autonomic nervous system, like systems around it, instead of like all the way up in the brain. And this is obviously like, you know, an evolutionary trick so that you don't, you know, go to sleep and then die. The Vulcans don't seem to have this. So this allows them to have extremely like precise control over things that we would not generally have control over, like perspiration, you know, heart beating, you know, things like that. But it also means that their brain can basically just shut their body off whenever the fuck it feels like. And when it feels like is basically if they get a little sad or horny. So yeah. I talked before about how hybridizing works between Vulcans and humans. Basically, it doesn't. It takes medical intervention. The copper blood is like the biggest difference. Otherwise, they're basically humans with pointy ears and a weird-ass brain. That's what I got. Maybe like a diorama or like a PowerPoint presentation.
Got a slide deck.
Like this deck.
Oh my God.
Oh, here's that note I was talking about earlier. In a documentary included in Enterprise Season 1 DVD, Geoffrey, I hate that spelling.
Geoffrey?
Geoffrey Mandel commented on how Vulcans perceive colors. I decided that because Vulcans grew up on a planet with a different sun, they see colors differently, so their star maps, instead of having a black background, would have a reddish background. Okay, Jeffrey, thank you. Like, whatever. That's fun, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So, that's, you know, a brief insight into how Vulcan anatomy works. My original idea for this deep dive was to do, like, Andorian culture, because we talked about the Andorians, but they're getting their own set of episodes coming up in a little bit, so I think it'll be better to do it then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well, that'll be that, and then we will be back after a short break with a potpourri.
Welcome back, everybody, to Captain's Log Supplemental. So for our potpourri this evening, since Shran made a glorious reappearance here in this episode, I figured we'd do a little Jeffrey Combs trivia. I'm going to give you both the clue as to a role of his. This includes both Star Trek and non-Star Trek. Yeah, you're gonna have fun with this one, and you're gonna have to give me either the movie or TV show that he was in. I've tried to make the clues with at least some hints in them that might allow you to guess them, but we'll see how it goes. We'll do it like first to the poll. Are you ready?
Okie dokie.
All right.
I'm gonna be fucking terrible at this.
All right. He portrays the suspicious blue-skinned captain of the Imperial Guard in this series.
Enterprise.
Yes, got it by a hair. All right, the gimme's out of the way. Now they're actually going to be challenging. All right. He played the main character, Herbert West, in this horror movie series. Started in the 80s.
West Side Gories.
No. Reanimator. There's a bunch of
you're
movies.
You're not gonna let Rob guess?
He said he doesn't know.
Oh.
I did not. I said Herbert West, and I was just thinking, and then you just
Rob's the biggest Reanimator fan out there.
Yeah,
he was going to get
about
that.
to say
Were you gonna get that?
Yeah. I mean, that was going to be like the single point that I got on this entire quiz, and now you've stolen it from me.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. Anyway, all right. Next one. He played the telepath Harriman Gray in season 1 of this sci-fi television series from the early 90s.
Babylon 5.
Babylon 5 is correct. Good
Nicely
guess.
done. Shit.
That was
right
not a guess.
Oh, do you remember it?
Yeah. Oh man, I love Babylon 5. That was a
I
good show.
watched some of it. It was fine, but like it was also a long time ago, so I don't remember a whole lot.
I remember enjoying it. I don't remember a whole lot either, but
I remember the
enjoyed it.
costumes being ridiculous.
I remember watching that and Sliders around the same
Watch
time.
the shit out some Sliders, yeah.
Yep. All right, next one. He plays Harry Radich in the episode The Placebo Effect of this remake of a classic sci-fi series in 2002.
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone is correct. Stanford edged you out by a hair there.
I'm so good at edging.
All right.
I will say, I looked up the animator. It is funny to see him with more hair.
Right.
Because like his hairline hasn't receded as much back in 1985.
Yeah, right. They have like cheesy like horror movie titles too, like Reanimator and Bride of Reanimator and stuff like that. All right. He actually shows up as 3 different characters in this sci-fi series from the mid to late 90s, but primarily as a clone.
Earth Above and Beyond?
Nope. Rob?
Stargate SG-1.
No. Deep Space Nine.
Oh.
See, I had to obfuscate that
as
one.
a clone. Oh, fuck off. He's not a clone. He's a shapeshifter.
No, he's a clone. No, shapeshifters were the actual like the shapeshifter race. He was a different race that the shapeshifters used as kind of their intermediaries.
Oh, man, I misinterpreted the entire Dominion War then.
Yeah. All right, next one. He voices an anthropomorphic ambulance in this animated series.
The Cars.
No. This is a TV series, animated TV series.
Oh, Transformers.
Okay, there's a lot of Transformers shows. I'm going to need the full
Beast
title.
Wars. I don't know.
It was not Beast Wars, Stanford. But I'd be surprised if there was an ambulance in Beast Wars.
Fuck, Beast Wars is the only ones I watched, but there were definitely no cars in it.
Yeah, this was probably a little bit after the point in time where we would have watched Transformers.
Transformers Defense Delta. I don't fucking know, man. Unless it's Transformers Robots in Disguise or Beast Wars. I didn't watch that shit.
Transformers Prime. So yeah, 55 episodes I guess he was in. It was actually one of the longer things he was credited for on his Wikipedia page. All right. He portrays H.P. Lovecraft in this 1993 anthology horror film.
It's funny because Reanimator...
Would-
It's funny because Reanimator is called H.P. Lovecraft's The Reanimator. What year was this film?
1993.
Fuck. I don't know. The Mountains of Madness.
Rob, do you have a guess?
I said Jurassic Park. That is the only movie I remember coming out in 1993. It was Jurassic Park.
No, it was the Necronomicon.
Oh, you know, I was going to say that, but I'm like, I don't think they ever made a movie out of Necronomicon because it's the only H.P. Lovecraft thing I've read.
Yep, Necronomicon. All right. He plays Mr. Brooks in this 1998 sequel to a classic teen slasher film.
Halloween?
Nope.
Huh. Well, okay, so,
The sequel, not a remake.
in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 14th.
No.
Shit.
It's for
Yeah, I guess, like, is it Friday the 13th?
It is not. It is
One of the Jason movies?
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's considered a classic now? Oh, man.
No, I
Yeah,
Know
it
What You
hurts.
Did Last Summer is considered a classic, yes.
Yeah. Yep. He plays Jimmy Swain in one episode of this 1991 television series about a DC superhero.
1991.
Yep.
Was it the original Flash show?
It was, in fact, The Flash.
Nice.
Good job.
Oh, man.
There weren't a lot of DC like live action shows,
Right.
so like your options are pretty limited to begin with.
Yep.
Oh, when I said Batman, I was thinking like the animated series. Did you specify live action?
I said plays. If it was voices, I would have said voiced.
Yeah, okay.
I guess when I heard plays, I just assumed live action, but like I would not have been mad if it turned out it was animated.
Yeah, and the clues I specify if he voiced or played. So, all right, next one. He played Dr. Dale Sterling in the episode Jackpot for this early 2000s procedural crime drama.
Early 2000s.
CSI?
CSI is correct.
Yeah, I was almost there.
OG CSI.
That's Vegas still.
Yep.
Yep.
You are correct. All right, last one.
Who are you?
He voiced the character Rat King for 4 episodes of this 2010s reboot of a 90s era cartoon featuring 4 siblings fighting crime.
Try Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Rob actually edged you out on that one.
Damn it. I'm usually the edge lord.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is correct. All right, let's do our count up here.
Rat King.
Y'all tied 3-3.
Okay, so, all right. So, okay. Hold on. I'm going to make an executive decision. Y'all are not allowed to make trivia games that don't have tiebreakers built in. Like, this is like the 4th time that one of you ran a trivia that ended up tied, and this is getting unacceptable.
All right. Let me come up with a Jeffrey Combs tiebreaker.
No.
And the best tiebreakers are number based, like get closest to some number.
All right. Hold on.
That's some like American bullshit needing kind of time. I'm a soccer fan, goddammit.
Oh man, all right, hold on. Give me a moment here. Okay, here's a good one. Topical. How many of episodes of Star Trek Enterprise has Jeffrey Combs been in as Shran?
5.
Oh shit. Like, take your time, Rob.
This wasn't the first poll. We're getting closest to the number.
Well, I'm counting. I'm going with 9.
Rob, are you sticking with 5?
I'm sticking with 5.
All right. Well, the actual number was 11. So Stanford wins this one.
Oh shit! Yeah, he was in the last one. I forgot about that. That was okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
11 episodes that he's in. Or wait, does that include episodes we haven't seen?
I mean, it's going to include about 4 episodes we haven't seen.
Oh, so you mean when I said 5 up till now, I was correct?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. He's been in.
I hate you
He's
guys.
been in the monastery. He was in Monastery. He was in Dami Mami. He was in the Andorian Mining Consortium. He was in the tied up fetish video one. That's 4. He was in this one, 5. He was in one other one.
I'm trying to look ahead here. I don't. Okay, yeah, no, he is in a couple coming up, isn't he? Okay.
Yeah, he was in the Zindi incident. The last episode of last season he was in. So that's 6.
Looks like there's 3 he's in coming up.
Yeah, so there were 8 before then. So I still would have been closer than you.
I don't know.
All right. Nicely done, Chris. You want to pop us out?
Yep. As Stanford mentioned at the top of the video, the podcast. I'm looking at stats and IMDb entries. As he mentioned at the top of the video, I fucking said it again. God damn it. Oh, man. At the top of the podcast, please review, subscribe, rate, tell all your friends, do all those things on all the platforms. And we will catch you next time.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Captain's Log Supplemental. You can follow us on Twitter at PodCLS or send us hate mail at podcls3@gmail.com.